click this button and say, yo, what up? How's it going?
What up?
Spinner under Void. Really big sword spinner. Hit me with a pitch. What's going on with this super rad spinner deck?
I've been trying to crack the spinner code to find a weapon package on one of those symbols that works, and this is the closest I feel like I've gotten.
Okay.
The big issue for me has been trying to figure out how to play a bunch of weapon attacks in a turn without folding under the progressive difficulty before you get to make the bonuses matter.
Sure.
Because +1 speed or +1 damage isn't going to do it. It's about when you hit that third attack at the +3 total stats where you feel like you're really getting leverage on that.
Right.
And then you want to keep going from there but once you're playing 4 or 5 attacks in a turn, progressive catches up real fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so the two big ways I found to cheat it are both in his kit, and that is really big sword and twin sword slicer.
Right.
You just lead with a big sword, and if they don't block it, then great. That's a lot of work done already by them to take in the hit. And if they do block it, then you got a free enhance. You got a card from them. You pick up another attack. Just keep swinging. And same thing with twin sword slicer. And then twin sword slicer, we're kind of jumping around here, made me ask the question, how do we echo it if we're trying to chain out and we can't really land a hit until we're into the chain? Which is where forced quirk activation is actually being used more for its snap momentum enhance than its destroy a foundation enhance. Because snapping momentum is really important for the sword slicer.
Yeah.
And from there, it's just usual void combo weapon nonsense and trying to utilize spinner to really make it hurt.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I know that I'm certainly into the idea. Let me I get to use you. I'm just doing I got a couple more cards. It looks like obviously we're not using set 5 stuff yet. Still rocking set 4 only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just set 4.
Just making sure. So who have you played this deck against? What characters?
I've played it twice against a Nomu and a Death Arms.
Okay.
And this was a version pre-Twin Sword Slicer.
Okay.
And that's where I really noticed the issue of just how hard you feel like you have to chain out to really get big bonuses from that enhance.
Okay. All right. I dig that. I dig it. I got a sideboard for us. Maybe refresh. Truthfully, I only found like 3 cards that could really like go into this deck and be weird. We'll start with the foundation. Small and limber. If you have anything that says destroy a foundation, do a thing. This is just counts as those foundations back, right? I don't think we have any charge fury kicks, right? So we got 1. Oh, this is a kick. Okay, so we can small and limber and like utilize the top enhance of it. But if we're looking for other cool things as we like destroy blade expertise to slam another card in, we get to re-ready back up our small limbers. Not a perfect idea, but an idea. Up next is Chainsaw Nomu. I like this card a lot in this deck because it's a flash attack you just play at the end, and if you have less foundations in them, it just gets -1 difficulty. So it's a 4 diff, 4 mid for whatever damage you want to slam on it. So like that's neat, but it does mean that you miss 1 activation of Spinner, right? So like you could like play really big sword, twin sword slicer, chainsaw Nomu, and chainsaw comes in for 8 damage. Which like 8 damage they don't get to enhance on, which feels kind of cool. But the real one is actually Piercing Growl. It doesn't do very much, but it says discard a card. If it deals damage, remove it, grab Piercing Growl from your discard pile. And so it clears itself from the card pool and slams the stats. If they don't have a mid block, right, you just like keep pumping the damage. Otherwise, you pump the speed. It feels pretty decent. Like if you have a handful of foundations, this card can turn into more, but at the same time, it's a 3 damage move. So I don't know. I don't know how base 3 damage is gonna tickle your fancy.
I was looking at Piercing Growl. I think if we can get the deck size down so that you're more likely to have them in the discard pile, it's an option. I think like at 63 cards, you'll have one in the discard pile by the time you're really going into swing, unless you've actively set it up.
Sure. I mean, if we cut things down, we get to like take a lot of these like 4-ofs and turn them into 3-ofs, right? Like Force Quirk gets to be a 2-of, Master's Pride is a 3-of, Calling for Backup's a 3-of. First Impressions might just like not even make the cut, but that's losing a lot of the identity and a lot of the tech pieces of what Spinner like wants to drop down with his bottom enhance, you know? The other option could be to play. I mean, it stinks because it's a low block and like we've already got more lows than highs. We could just play Moon Ritual Dance. Hilarious. I've been standard build too long. We're looking. It's the Blood Moon Rending, right? If you can play Blood Moon Rending as like the 3rd move or whatever, you rip the card out of their hand. It's a 7 damage move. Just kidding. If it's 3rd, it's a 10 damage move. The only issue is we don't get to really combo it if we've got a Twin Sword Slicer, because Slicer flips, right? And it needs attack weapon.
You definitely have to choose between echoing the Sword Slicer or comboing the Blood Moon.
Yeah. The other option that we have is if we wanted to go a little more combo heavy, right? Because we've got combos pretty much all over the place here. Is Binding Cloth Whiplash. I like Whiplash a lot for this slot because it just says this one doesn't count. It's slow as hell. But if you're just going to keep slamming damage on it, you've got like Gecko Stomp or Really Big Sword as your opener. And then you've got Binding Cloth Whiplash to just not count towards progressive. And then, you could go like Gecko Stomp. You could go like Slicer even, right? Slicer as your opener. Don't flip it. Total Erasure Binding. Don't care about any of its keywords. And then Binding Cloth combo. It doesn't count. Add the damage. It's a 2 low for 7 that doesn't count. Like, that's good if they don't have a low block, right?
Yeah.
Also a Fury for small limber. Yeah, but like besides that, besides just like going like head first into all of Eraserhead's kit of like Binding Shoulder Rush to make your next combo -1 difficulty and then rewriting some stuff, and it being just like already like a big move, right? It's like a 4 mid for 6. It could be like a 5 mid for 6 as your opener or whatnot.
I like small and limber to keep having active foundations to keep the chain going.
Yeah.
My one thing is we don't have many foundations that leave the card pool on their own.
Yeah.
Or some grand enabler for it right now.
Right. Yes, completely agree.
So we'd have to find one of those. But I'm here for small and limber.
I think the only lockbreaker that exists under the void symbol at the moment is just the one that says if this attack deals no damage, draw a card, discard a card. The one where Monetta's cleaning Mount Lady's house or whatever.
That's not a great one.
It's not very good, but I think it's the only one we got. We'll put it on the table so that the good people at home. Idle work. Yeah, this is the only lock breaker that we got at the moment. Yeah. How sold are you on Really Big Sword? Because I feel like we could easily take Really Big Sword out and something like Binding Cloth Precision for the Binding Cloth Whiplash to consistently hit a little harder, and replace Really Big Sword for that one card I was talking about that now I'm not. Binding Shoulder Rush. It's significantly faster. We don't really care about the combo enhance because this is actually like the best opener that this guy has. And this is my next combo attack I play that gets -1 difficulty. And it combos with an attack. And so it can be late in the string. You can combo it after the Gecko Stomp if we want to. Right? Of like it wants to be played first or second. It feels fine being played in either slot. Whereas this guy wants to be played, if it's played early, it's just a 7 damage blank card. And if it's played late, then it's trying to powerful up, but it's so slow that it's like telegraphed really hard. 1 mid block here, 2 mid block there. I don't know how much that bothers you.
Oh, that's not a big deal. I generally don't. I mean, sometimes your losses are on that margin, but a 1 block modifier tends not to be the sole reason you lost a game.
That's fair. Yeah. So thoughts on Binding Shoulder Rush?
I think that is an interesting direction to go. Let's give it a shot, because I have not been super impressed with where I'm at right now.
This thing's also just faster, right? So like let's pretend that Binding Shoulder Rush and Slash or Really Big Sword are the only attacks in your hand and your opponent's at 6. I'd rather make this a 5 mid for 6 that they have to deal with rather than a 3 high for 7, right? It's a 5-3 and not a 5-2. Yeah. And then if we wanted to, we could try to figure out where to put this Binding Cloth Whiplash in. If not, that's okay too. This easily
I
could
like
be,
it. I had it in some initial lists. And it was just a matter of space before you're bloating your attacks.
Thoughts on splitting it with Assault? 2 Assault, 2 Whiplash. So this is a hand extender.
What are your thoughts?
I was
gonna say, what are your thoughts on Assault? Do you even think it's necessary, or because I was just draw more cards, filter, it sounds fine. Not really playing actions to take advantage of the speed.
My big thing is that you don't your foundations don't have a ton of draw power, right? It's literally Assault and it's calling for backup. So you kind of have to just raw draw what it is. You got to play with what God gave you, as opposed to all these other heathen decks that draw 6 cards under a kill condition are ooh, I found the last one, and then slam it down, you know?
That's why I wanted good weapons to be so good, and I think it's going to be good next set.
Yeah.
But we're not there right now, because just passing the torch would be such a boon for this deck.
Completely agree.
And a lock breaker that doesn't suck would be such a boon for this deck.
Yes.
And you get calling for backup and idle work, where good gets self-sacrifice and passing the torch.
Let me pitch something crazy to you. What if we took Assault, Precision, Rush down to 3 ofs and toss in 3 Whiplash? Stumped. Absolutely stumped them.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Love it. I'm in. There's 3, 3, 3. And so from here, you now get to be like, yo, I like binding shoulder rush so much more than binding precision cloth. So we'll put you down to a 2 of and you up to a 4 of. I like assault way more than whiplash. Okay, we'll put whiplash down to a 2 of and assault back up to a 4 of. So we're widening our net as we practice and then figuring out what makes sense, and then we narrow it back in. It's like weightlifting. We're bulking and then cutting. Bulking and cutting.
I like it. I like it.
If we were to play small number, where would it go? Closing in, question mark? No, we're not allowed to take out high blocks. We'll die. It's gotta be mids. You like hack and slash? I guess you have to because of blade expertise, right?
I'm not married to it. I like it. I think it looks better than it is.
I could agree with that. We could just take it out 4 for 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gone. And so here's the test, right? We have the 4 blade expertise. We've got the force quirk activation. And so maybe we're not allowed to. We've got citywide crisis. Return this attack to its printed speed. That's bad. Do any of you destroy stuff? No. Man. So it looks like we've only have force quirk activation and blade expertise as things that destroy. It might be an angle where we, instead of these 2 gotcha, we have to play idle work at the 2 of.
Yeah. It's better than nothing.
So here's the suggestion, right? Let's leave it as it is. I'll send you this over to you as is. Idlework's already in the sideboard. Whenever you're playing games, you ready? I'll do this. Whenever you're playing games, when you're feeling frisky, take out the 2 gotcha, put in the 2 idlework, and see what happens. Take out the 2 daunting message and put in the 2 idlework and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, because like there's the push through.
Because readying all those foundations.
You found all the good void cards and you put them in one deck. I don't think that void weapons is very very good, but you got to play them for spinner.
I'm definitely looking towards the future with spinner because it's not there right now.
Spinner, your favorite character?
He's up there. I love that enhance. That all turn buff just like sells you a dream.
Yeah.
And I wanna build that dream.
I love it.
Just infinite attacks that expand infinitely. And that darn progressive will get out of the way someday.
Ugh. Why can't all characters be Asui, huh?
Asui and Jiro just ignoring everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back in one more time to look at stuff, and I'm just like...
Void is a poopy symbol.
Yeah, I just don't know what Void wants to do, man. It's just like... It wants to just, like, play kicks? Question mark? It wants to be a racerhead?
Let's ham talk about how sad the Void symbol is. Even evil has found its footing at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do here.
Yeah, I've now gone through everybody again, and this is not where it's at. Let me know how it works out. Drop cool spinner bombs in the chat, and We'll catch you next
Will
time,
do.
okay?
I'll definitely come back next set and see if we can't do something cooler.
Love it.
I've also got Dreams of Moonfish with the new cards.
Ooh,
One
yeah.
checks for life.
Yes.
I love that one check.
I think that's gonna make Moonfish really scary, actually. We'll have to see.
It's the new Dropkick Slicer. Calling it now.
Oh, okay. I'm into that. All right, then.
All right.
Thank you for the support, and thank you for showing me this. That Void still has a little ways to go. All right, peace.